Ahoy, and welcome back to Fween the Skull Pirates channel here on YouTube. I have to apologize for being gone for so long. I have had some issues with a hard drive, so a lot of my content that I was recording is gone, so I'm re-recording some stuff. In the meantime, I figured that since we've had so many changes to the character creation and character leveling process, that I would revamp my original starting a new character video that I did forever ago. Now, I'm not going to go through the character process just like I did in the first one. I didn't go through it then, I'm not going to go through it now. If you want to make a new character, your appearance is all up to you. If you want to play around with the stuff in the character creator, go ahead, have fun with it. You don't have to save it. But there is always, as I said before, the option of loading appearance data, which means that you can save the appearance of a character that you've created, so that later on down the line, if you want to remake it on another server or whatever, you can load that appearance data and not have to worry about going through the entire process all over again. Now, ever since my previous video that I did on character creation and starting a new character and leveling one up, they have added in 2 new races, because the last time I did this, they had added in Al Ra. Now this time around, we have the Hrothgar and the Viera. So you have a few more options when it comes to your character creation. I'm just going to be touching on everything after the actual character build, but I figured I'd go ahead and mention this at the start. Alright, so you finished making your character. Congratulations, you can start the game as soon as you pick your job. Now, in the way that they've made things now, you don't have to worry about subclasses like you did when the game first launched. So, if you pick a Conjurer, when you hit level 30, you get the job quest to unlock White Mage. You don't have to worry about leveling a subclass anymore. So, we're just going to go through real quick, and for those of you who've never played before or don't know these are the starting classes you can choose from. After this, I'll go through all of the classes you can unlock once you've played through the game a little bit. So first off, you get Gladiator, which is a tank class that eventually becomes Paladin at level 30. Pugilist, which is going to be Monk at level 30, and that is a DPS. Marauder, which is another tank class that at level 30 becomes Warrior. Lancer becomes Dragoon at level 30, that is DPS. Archer, which is a DPS class, and becomes Bard at level 30. Conjurer, which becomes White Mage at level 30 and is a healer. Thaumaturge, which becomes Black Mage at level 30, that's DPS obviously. Arcanist, that one goes 2 different ways at level 30, and you can unlock both of them. It can either become a Scholar or a Summoner. And one is a healer, one's a DPS. Now, outside of these classes that you start off with, once you hit level 10, you can either unlock another one of these, or you also get the option in Limsa Lominsa to unlock Rogue, which then becomes Ninja, which is a DPS. Now, as the game progresses, you will also unlock additional tanks, healers, and DPS. The tanks you'll unlock later on are Dark Knight and Gunbreaker. The healer that you'll unlock is Astrologian. Now, the DPS that you'll unlock later on are Ninja and Samurai. They are melee DPS. Range DPS you'll unlock are Machinist and Dancer. And the magical range DPS that you'll unlock are Red Mage and Blue Mage. Blue Mage is a whole different story, though, because it's its own thing in this game. It's considered a limited job. We can go over that in another video, though. Alright, so what can you do once you've made your character and you've started leveling your character up? Well, as I mentioned, you can unlock multiple jobs and classes. And as you can see here, I have all of them unlocked on this character. Once you get to level 30, things like Pugilist become Monk and Lancer become Dragoon, things like that. So you switch over from the class you chose at the beginning to the job that it becomes. Now, the other ones that you unlock, such as Dark Knight, Gunbreaker, Samurai, Astrologian, those ones are always that job. They don't have a base class that they start out as. The only thing that you can't start off as that has a base class is Ninja. And that's one that you have to unlock as Rogue, and it does eventually become Ninja at level 30. Try not to let it confuse you. Now, the other thing that you can unlock are your classes for Gathering and Crafting. Now, the 3 Gathering classes are Miner, Botanist, and Fisher, which are mining, gathering trees and plants, and fishing. Pretty simple. Now, the Disciples of the Hand that you get, or the crafting classes, Carpenter, Blacksmith, Armorer, Goldsmith, Leatherworker, Weaver, Alchemist, and Culinarian. And they all have their individual uses, and they do have interchangeable things that you can get from them. So, let's say you're making something as a leatherworker. Well, you may need something that you get from being a carpenter, or something that you get from being a goldsmith, in order for you to make that particular recipe as a leatherworker. And so, it's actually a good idea to level them all up, if you're into crafting. If you're not into crafting, I wouldn't suggest bothering with it. Just buy the stuff off the market board or find other people to make it for you. Now, once you unlock multiple classes, you do get the gear set list. Now, the gear set list allows you to quickly and easily swap between your classes. So you just set it up with whatever items you want to have on there, you save it as the gear set, and you can order these however you like. You can rearrange them, and it's a really quick and easy way to simply switch between all of your classes once you've unlocked multiple. Now, the other thing is that you can drag and drop these down to a action bar down here, like I've done, so that you can easily just click on a button without having to go into the character screen. Another feature that they've added is the recommended gear button, which allows you to just click on recommended gear, and it will tell you if you've got something in your armory chest that is better than what you're currently wearing. So if you get a whole bunch of different items all at once, like an entire gear set, then you can go in there and click on that and equip everything all at once, as opposed to just individually adding them one by one. Now, these do have to be in your armory chest for that to work. If they're simply in your inventory, then you're not going to be able to see those in the recommended gear. So all of these items I've got sitting in my inventory are completely useless if I use the recommended gear option. Now, later on down the line, once you actually do all of this, get all of these, there's a lot of different things you can do with glamours and things like that, but that's for another video. Now that we've gone through starting a new character, and all the different things you can start off as, and all the different things you can unlock from there, I'm pretty sure that a lot of new players are curious about, well, how long does it take to get through all of these things? Now, this is a new character that I started that is currently level 30 and able to undertake the level 30 quest to unlock Bard. And total playtime right now is about 16 hours and 40 minutes. Now, you've got to factor in me watching cutscenes and doing other things in the game besides just leveling and running through main scenario quests, things like that. So, all said and done, you can be level 30 and unlock your first job in about 16 and 17 hours at an average, we'll say. Because it could take less, it could take more. It depends on who you are and how you play. Once you get to level 30, you get a quest from your class that unlocks your job, and usually an ability that goes along with it. Now, having looked at a character that is just hitting level 30 and getting their very first job quest, this is a character that I have played a lot more on. This one has made it all the way up through to level 73 on Dark Knight. I've also unlocked Ninja up to level 55, Gunbreaker to 61, and Dancer. I started this one off as a pugilist, and once I was able to unlock rogue, I did that, leveled that all the way up through the main scenario until I could unlock Dark Knight, and then I've pretty much been playing that since. So this one hasn't been a straight linear progression of starting class all the way through. This one, I've jumped around a little bit and done a lot more on it. Now, the other thing is that I'm currently just a couple of quests away from getting into the current expansion, which is Shadowbringers. So how long does it take for a character, even one that's been futzing around doing other stuff, to get all the way to the current content? Well, this character has about 7.5 days of playtime on it. So you've got to factor in, once again, all of the cutscenes, all of the other things that I've done in the game, and everything else that I've spent time on. And all of that is going to increase that playtime. So it could be less, could be more, could be about the same for anyone who's just trying to run through and get to current content to play with friends. So if you've got friends that are in the game that you want to be playing with them right now, yes, Square Enix does offer the ability to pay to level a character up as well as jump them through the storylines. Now, that does have stipulations and other things that come along with it, so I'd suggest looking at that a little bit harder and the amount that it costs if you want to go that route. But if you're looking to actually play through the game, experience the story, learn your class before you actually get into the endgame content, then I would suggest going this route and playing through the character all the way from the start, which is what I did with this one. This character, as I said, has been about 7.5 days of playtime, and I've managed to unlock multiple jobs. I've managed to get all the way through the content up to the point where I am about to be in the current expansion. So, all said and done, about 7 to 8 days, at least, worth of playtime in order to get into current expansion content. Now, that's by no means a measure for anyone else. You can skip cutscenes, you can ignore side quests, you can avoid unlocking multiple jobs, you can do all this stuff to cut down on time, or you could increase the time by going through all of that and doing other things. It all depends on how fast you want to go through and how much you want to actually sit back and enjoy and experience the great storylines that they have in Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, I'd like to thank you for stopping in and watching all the way through to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also, I do have a Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok account that you can follow as well, and I will be streaming every Monday and Wednesday night on Twitch. I do occasionally also have additional streams outside of those times. If I do that, you can find the information up on my social media whenever I go live outside of my normal streaming days. On top of that, I do also offer a Discord channel if anyone wants to stop in and chat on there or ask me questions there. So, once again, this is FFXIV the Skull Pirate, and I will see you later.